Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News, the weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. That being said, I'm filming this on New Year's Eve so that it can come out New Year's Day, so I'm going to make this one as quick as I can, but I've got a ton of videos for you guys. So first, Happy New Year, and second, let's get into the videos. So the first thing that I want to talk about, we already did a live stream about it. I reacted to all of these videos. The USL BMX Blow Up the Park contest. 10 different companies got involved. They sent 10 different riders to this contest. Well, they entered 10 different riders in this contest where each one had 24 hours to film a video at a skate park of their choosing, and there were no repeat skate parks even though they were all somewhat in the same area. And then the winner, chosen by the fans voted at the site, wins $1,500. There's some huge names in here, from Sunday to Fiend to Colt to Odyssey. Lots of really big name riders as well. And the list on here of the 10 riders is Ethan Corrier, Poor Homie Rich, Jacob Cable, Chad Curley, Matt Ray, Brock Rayford, Hilario Alvos, Colin Varignac, Gary Young, and Devin Smiley. Like I said before, I reacted and watched all of these videos live, so if you want to check that out, it's on my channel. I also did a live stream with Francis Castro, the guy who's in charge of USL BMX and the guy who organized all of this. It was a really, really good live stream where you learn a little bit more about the behind the scenes of the contest and his thoughts and those things, so check that out on the channel if you want to as well. There's a link in the description below to a playlist that has all 10 of these videos. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on who you think should win and why. I'm not going to tell you who I voted for here, but I will say my top 3 in no order. So my top 3 is Gary Young, Matt Ray, and Chad Curley. I felt that those guys absolutely killed it. They used the park to the best of its abilities. They had a lot of variety in the different things that they did, and they also all went big too. So that's my top 3. Not going to tell you who I think should win, but you should tell me who you think should win. I've also included a link right below the playlist to where you can vote for this contest. One thing that I do also want to talk about here is the amount that this video was shared within BMX and how well it's done. All of these parts have more than 10,000 views on them. 10 big companies in BMX backed this contest. And then when it came to where it was shared, we saw BMX Union and Vital BMX were the only what I would call major BMX media outlets that covered this. Didn't see anything from Our BMX or Dig BMX. I'm not going to speculate as to why, but what I am going to say is that we're all in this together. And to not share something like this with so many big companies involved, whatever the reasoning might be, feels very not good. It feels, and I'll say this twice, it feels to me like things are intentionally trying to be held back when they should be shared by everyone in every media outlet equally, because after all, it is a media outlet. If you're going to cover BMX media, you should be covering everything, not just the things that are picked and chosen, especially, and in this case, you can make the case, something from 10 different big companies that also sponsor these websites. So like I said, I'm not going to speculate as to why this contest didn't show up on these websites. All I want to finish with is that we live in a time with the internet where everyone has the ability to succeed. Everyone can put in the work, and if they want to put in the work, they can succeed at BMX, BMX media, whatever, on the internet and in the age of the internet. There's so many more resources available than back whenever BMX magazines and DVDs were the only source of, I hate the word content, but the only source of content for people to consume. Now with the internet, we get to pick and choose what we consume as the consumers, and the possibilities are endless if people want to put the work in. The work was put in for 10 different videos, all filmed by Grant Castelluzzo and edited by Francis Castro for this contest. 10 different companies got involved and sponsored riders to be in the contest. And overall, a ton of work was put in by so many different people to make this happen. And I just flat out think it's disrespectful to everyone involved for a media website in BMX in 2020 and almost 2021 now to not share something like this. It just is disrespectful to everyone who put the work in, all of the friends of these people who are involved with this contest, and to just not share it is disrespectful in my eyes. And that is my opinion for everyone who wants to get offended by that. But we live in the age of the internet where everyone can be successful, and we can want everyone to be successful and help in that. And if we do it right, we don't have to worry about anything else because we can all be successful. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. And we're gonna move on to the Mike Rooftop Escamilla Unclicked podcast that came out from Our BMX this week. This is one that I think every single person in BMX can benefit from watching, not only because of the stories with Rooftop and just how awesome of a person it seems like he is, but also the industry talk in here and talking about things that really do matter and bringing awareness to people who might not be aware of these things that Rooftop is talking about, because it's the truth and he's willing to talk about it and put it out there. And I loved hearing every single second of it. To hear him talk about how where he's at in life in BMX, he refuses to take money from companies even if they offer it to him so that other people can have that opportunity and make that money. It's so awesome. It shows how humble of a person he is, and I genuinely just think everyone would enjoy this podcast, so definitely check it out if you haven't yet. And that brings us into the videos from this week. There's several that I want to talk in depth about, and I got a list for you guys. The first one is Brad Sims from Fit. It's called 2020 Best Biker, and Brad Sims won the 2020 Best Biker from both Vital BMX and the Nora Cup as the 2020 Rider of the Year. And this video is some snippets of things from throughout this year. There's a couple in there that I forgot about and a couple that I hadn't seen yet, and man, this is a good video, so definitely check it out. It's just amazing the things that Brad Sims can do on his bike, and it's awesome to see him finally getting the real recognition from BMX as a whole that he deserves. I feel he's been so well respected for so long, and then this year it finally just came together for him and all of this happened. From there, we've got a video from Fiend called Dark Days, which I genuinely enjoyed, and you're gonna find throughout these videos I'm talking in depth about that there's a lot of variety in what came out this week, because Brad Sims and everyone on Fiend ride completely different from each other. Same with the next two videos I'm gonna talk about. And I think you guys know it's Fiend. Garrett Reynolds, Colin Verniak, Ty Morrow, Johnny Rakes, Matt Clausen, all of these guys absolutely kill it in here with so much stuff that is really impressive on a lot of different levels. I don't even have to get into it. You know what you're in for, so watch it if you haven't heard about it yet. Then we've got one from Cole Denny called From the Heart. Cole Denny is the guy that we talked about in the previous Unclicked podcast, and this video, this is another one you just need to see. There's dirt bikes, there's three-wheelers as well. He grinds a three-wheeler. He does a candy bar over like vehicles on a three-wheeler, but he's also riding his BMX bike in here, and the music that went with it. It was just honestly a feel-good video to watch, and so different than the other two that we've already talked about. And then we've got one from Matt Drew. It's his 2019-2020 video. If you guys haven't heard of Matt Drew, he's from Canada and he is amazing on his bike. There's one clip in here that stands out, I think, to everyone, where he does a 270 over ice pick on a spine. That part might not seem so crazy. It's kind of normal in the tech world. Then he does a 270 back over, but not to fakie the way that like Scotty Kramer did in an old video. He continued his spin, but back over to the side that he came from. If you don't understand it, I get it. You're just gonna have to watch it. So check that one out if you feel like seeing something that's even more different than everything else we've talked about today. Then we've got Pegless Jedi Part 2. I'm not even gonna do this guy a disservice by butchering his name. You can see it right here, but this is another one. Totally different. That's the 5th video actually, so 5 videos that are completely different from each other in all different styles. This guy, Pegless, he's got brakes. He likes to do pedal grinds, then he spins the sprocket, then he jumps up to his back wheel, then he does either a regular or an opposite spin out, or he jumps backwards and throws a bar spin in all 3 of those. And I genuinely enjoyed watching this video, as it's totally different than what we see from BMX on a daily basis. And that is something I want to point out with this. 5 different videos from 5 different people, companies. There's also a bunch of people in the Fiend ones. There's like 10 different people in here that all ride completely different. and it's all represented in BMX in just 1 week. And it makes me pretty happy to be this psyched on so many different videos with so many different styles in BMX in just 1 week. After that, I've got a list of videos for you guys to check out if you want to. We have Luis Calacion's Welcome to Sabrosa AM video. I didn't realize it before, but he was just on the team. Now he's bumped up to AM. Then we've got one from Crucial BMX called Bad Santa 2020. Then we've got one from Raphael Chiquet. I hope I said that right. This is a Flatland video, so another completely different style. Anti-Gone, Gone, Gone. For all you Flatland guys out there. Then we've got BMX Foo's Christmas Mega Mix 2020, followed by a Stranger mixtape called Grindhouse, and We the People's full-length video called Out of Line. And we had 2 different interview things aside from the Rooftop podcast to talk about. We've got the 4th episode of the Source Park documentary. I've only gotten a little bit into this one, but it's just cool to see the behind the scenes, as I've said with the other 3 episodes when we covered it. And then we've got the best things that happened in 2020 from Vital BMX. This is pretty much a wrapping up of 2020 from a bunch of the best people in BMX. We've got Dennis Enerson, we've got Logan Martin, Hannah Roberts, Matthias Dandois, Matt Hoffman, Corey Walsh, Kieran Riley, Nikita DeCaros, and quotes from all of them talking about the year. So I feel that's a great place to end this news video. If you guys had thoughts on anything that I talked about today, leave them in the comments down below, and hopefully we'll see you more in the new year. If you're not, or you're new here, subscribe while you're down there. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.